and welcome back to an episode of Blue Hand Gamers Around the Tabletop. Today, it's just the two of us. It's Cymrych and myself, Katfish. And we're just going to be discussing the last game that we played, which was Gaia Project. I went into it a little nervous because I did hear some finicky things about all the different things that you can do and people forgetting about things, but turns out I really enjoyed the game. And you'll kind of see that the more that we discuss this. So I'm going to start us off here and ask Cymrych, what was your strategy while you were playing this game?
Well, my strategy built in was the same starting bonus you had, was the starting at a higher level of the terraforming research. So I thought about going headfirst into that. But after round 1 or 2, I decided quickly to just start powering through navigation research and then trying to spread myself as far out there as I could. In the end, I think it worked out pretty well for me, but that was pretty much my biggest strategy, was just spread.
Yep, you were trying to spread, but I found it very difficult to spread. I know I kept trying to reach out when I could, but I couldn't find myself to get out enough. I feel like I did fairly well at reaching out a little bit. But with my faction's navigation being held back until certain parameters were met, it definitely put a little cap on me for a little bit to be able to get out there. Mm-hmm. Unless I'll take a round bonus to help me get 3 spaces of navigation. But my strategy, I didn't really have a great strategy coming in. And I find myself saying this a lot when I'm learning a new game. I don't really have a great form strategy coming into the game because a lot of it I'm learning. And I do turn to learn on the fly pretty good. Even though I watch your how-to videos, it's difficult to form a good strategy watching the how-to videos. So my biggest thing that I try to do was pound through the research, which is what really helped me in the end to get close to you.
That research that helped you out a lot for end game scoring. There was a time where I was hitting 1 research and you were doing 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which was nice. It felt good to be able to jump up on those pretty well. Say the only thing I wish I wouldn't have done was blast all the way up to the top of science. I wish I would have held back to the very end and then slapped that on at the very end like I did with the other one. And I'm glad that you allowed me to do that. So thank you. How much do you struggle with the iconography of this game?
For this game, it was rough. And I've played some pretty symbol and icon heavy games before. Like, every game has its own set of symbols that are different from everything else. But this game, I'm not going to lie, it was rough learning it the first time. And unfortunately, I taught myself, so I didn't have anybody else to fall back on. It took me a few days, and I had to read through the book itself a couple of times before everything finally started to click. But yeah, it was a little rough learning this one. But I'm happy I did, because in the end, I do find it to be an excellent game.
Yeah, it is. It is a little rough with all the symbols, and I said it during the playthrough, and I'll say it again. I'm not much for iconography because it makes the game learning that much rougher. Not that it's a bad game by any means. It's tough when you're looking down and all you see is a little building with an arrow pointing to a building that's slightly larger. And then you see an arrow pointing to a planetarium, and then an arrow pointing to something that could be a bulldozer, and you don't know what it is. It's like, what can I do? So overall, I mean, that I think that the iconography does slow down the process of learning the game, but of course, once you play it, like I said, probably once that third time would hit, I'd be pretty well endowed to where I could say I know exactly what I'm doing. Um, what was your favorite thing about Gaia?
The variety, I would say, because I mean, there are rules in the rule book that say that you can choose what faction you want, but I love the variety. Everything in this game is different from every other game you play of Gaia Project. You can randomize the factions, which are front and back. All the factions have different unique abilities. You randomize the round bonuses, or how you score points every round. The final game scoring points, there are 6 of them, I believe, and you only use 2 a game. The round boosters, the one thing that you get to choose from all the other available round boosters that players have to basically fight over. There's just a lot of variety that makes it the same basic game, but makes it fun and new every time you play. Because like I said in the playthrough, you'll never play the same game twice with Gaia Project.
I believe that. How many different factions are there? I didn't get to count really.
There's 7 different colors and each one is double-sided, so 14 factions.
That's a lot. That's a lot of factions. Yeah, I think the replayability of this game is what makes it such a winner in my eyes, to be honest. Because like you said, no 2 games will ever be the same, which makes this game a very good game to play multiple times and never get bored of it, because it's going to be a different outcome just about every time you play it. And with each faction having different abilities, having different round boosters, having different end round points that you can make. Trying to think, you could, I mean, based off the moves that you're making because of your faction, or if you want to research, just there's just tons of different things that you can do, which makes this game very awesome to play. And I think if you're someone that enjoys having that freedom to do multiple things, and by multiple, I feel like I'm limiting in this game because there's like 11, 12, maybe 14 different things that you could possibly do on your turn. And I don't feel like I'm exaggerating at all. So, I mean, I feel like just that aspect in itself makes the game very awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, what did you enjoy more? Did you enjoy Gaia Project or when I sung to you?
I mean, you can always serenade me. The fact
Bonus. All right. The real next question is, did you enjoy your faction / your faction abilities?
Well, yeah, like I said during the playthrough, when I had the only actual chance I had to play the game was when I was teaching myself. I kind of just played 2 different factions against each other. But like any solo chess player, we all know that you don't pick a favorite. You keep playing both sides as if that's the one you want to win. So for learning purposes, that's how I learn all of my board games. I usually play a solo game with multiple players with that aspect. So when I first started learning the game, I had the Terrans set up with the other side of the orange faction you played, the Geodens. So it was still blue against orange, but I got a chance to learn the Terrans ahead of time. which didn't really do me much good because I only closed out the game 2 points ahead of you.
Did you ever find out? Did we count them 4 that you gave me at the end?
I did. I really did.
Nice.
So I
You
think
were
I actually won by 6.
correct.
Yep. I just finished editing the video today. It is currently rendering, and I did make sure to pay attention to that section. I did give you those points.
Nice. That was one thing I was struggling trying to like look for what I wanted to do next, and then try to remember to give myself points or see if you gave myself points. And then also like when you were doing stuff, I was also trying to make sure like you were giving yourself points. So like there's a lot. But I enjoyed my faction that I had. I feel like I always get stuck with some type of faction that has some type of building aspect to it. Because Scythe, I had that where I was kind of limited because I had to build up wood to make buildings to get out with the faction I ended up getting during our campaign. And now I got this faction where I had to build up to that taller Paris-looking building. I can't remember what it's called. And in order for me to be able to it's not transport. Help me, please. To move.
Navigation.
Thank you. To be able to navigate further. So I always end up with a faction like that. And I tell you what, if I end up getting a faction that doesn't limit me like this, I'm gonna hit the ground running, and I will be gone. Because I don't know why, but I always find myself in these situations.
Hey, you handle it very well, though.
Thank you. Thank you. What are your thoughts on the scoring in the game?
The scoring, I think, would be possibly the most broken part of the game. Because for 6 rounds, we are going toe-to-toe, trying to do what the round boosters are, maybe even gather a Federation token or 2. But there is no real massive jumping in score. But the end game scoring, if you're in first place for one of the scoring tracks, that's 18 points. And then in a 2-player game, if you don't beat the neutral satellite, you're only gaining 6 points for being in 3rd place. And then with the research, that really helped you close that gap from me getting first place on both final scoring, because I only had a few different researches I scored on, whereas I think you had a grand total of like 7 or 8 different research sections to score on. So if you're not paying attention to that research or final scoring tiles, all that work you put in throughout the regular game won't be for much.
Correct. Yeah, that's one thing that I noticed too, because you can nickel and dime your way up pretty far, and you do that through those middle of the round bonuses that you can get for each round, and then some other little items that you might tit for tat and move forward. And we were trading back 1 point each quite often to move up our power, which I think we did that just about an even amount of times, which if you're playing more people could end up hurting you in the long run.
Yeah.
But I think that you can definitely run away with scoring in this game just because there's so many different ways to do scoring. And then if people aren't focusing on all the different things that they can score on, it can make it a little rough. What were your thoughts on the research?
I actually really love the fact that there are 6 different research lanes to progress through, because depending on what you're playing or the play style you decide to go with, you don't have to level everything up. You can only level up what you feel is necessary to you at that time. So yeah, I love the fact that there are 6 different ways to advance your technology, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed that there was a plethora of different options, and I like the little bonuses that you get in the research itself. So that makes it nice, and it's a little initiative to go and start doing some of that research. So, I think my last thing I kind of wanted to bring up here is I wanted to say thank you to all of our people that helped us push over 200 on Facebook. You guys are awesome. I hope you guys are enjoying what you see, because it doesn't get much better than this. I mean, no, all jokes aside, we really do appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys for your continuous support. Is there anything that you would like to say?
I just hope everybody continues to enjoy what we make, what we produce, the content that we put out there for you guys. I've said it several times, we're just a bunch of gamer goofballs trying to have fun, but at the same time, show you parts of the games that you may not already know, learn new games, see some content and maybe think, that looks like fun, maybe I'll try it. We're really here for you guys, you know? We're just trying to have fun while showing you that there's so much out there for you to enjoy as well. And like Katfish says, you guys with your support and your likes, your subscribes, all of our different social media platforms, the more of that we get, the more it pushes us to want to do more. I'm the editor. I'm slowly learning to be better. I'm completely self-taught. I'm in no way, shape, or form a professional, but I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to make it look better, sound better, be better, to make it more entertaining for all of you. This week was a little rough. Our time constraint was a little chaotic. It was a little bit of a bad week, but we also don't want to not produce for you. We're trying to stay on a schedule, which we broke a little bit. However, we're not going to not send out what we normally do within a week. We normally give 3 videos, so we're trying to make that happen. It'll be a little late, but I will have that playthrough available tonight, and then this Around the Tabletop will be tomorrow, Friday. So in closing, I would say thank you all. I appreciate every one of you.
Yep, we do appreciate each and every one of you. Speaking of entertaining, if you want to see some entertaining content, let me know if you want me to wear a costume for our next playthrough. Drop a comment below and let me know what you would like to see me wear. I will wear a costume. Except for a schoolgirl costume. All right, schoolgirl costume allowed.
We're about to get a lot more subscribers.
Oh, shoot. Well, thanks again, everyone, and we hope you have a good night.